All right, so now we are live as well on YouTube as well as live on Instagram. Woohoo, we did it. Amazing. It's the miracle of technology. Well, Satnam, everybody. All you glorious, awakening, conscious, incredibly bright and radiant souls. I am Mandeep. I am equally evolving and equally awakening and really shining my radiance and light. It's my mission to be as bright as I possibly can as a spiritual teacher on the planet at this time. It's very, very important for me to deliver my mission, which is being the spiritual teacher. Okay, so I'll just get right to it. Today, what I want to teach you are using breath work and sound in particular to strengthen the nervous system, to balance the brain and boost the metabolism. This is all tools to unblock and receive your strength, your power, your authenticity. And when I say that, you know, there is a huge powers to be that has been prevalent on the planet for, oh gosh, a long time, to dumb us down, to hold us in a container, and we are breaking out of that container right now. And so there's a lot of chaos with that breaking out process. But never fear, because we have all these beautiful tools now that are coming through as well. That we got to utilize them though, so that we can remain conscious, remain steady, and work with in particular, strengthen our nervous systems and move through the evolution and the transformation that is demanded of us to achieve. So the more that we step into our power, make the shifts necessary to be in all this that is your birthright, and take conscious control of our true power. The more the systems that are in place that I just described to you to prevent that from happening, they're going to dissolve. And they are dissolving. They are. So Kundalini Yoga is the ultimate yoga system for health, success, happiness, and spiritual uplift. Let me ask you, did you know that the biggest fear really that we have collectively is not fear of failure, but rather fear of success? It's very interesting, but it's true. So Marianne Williams did this amazing Course of Miracles, and I quote from it. This is a direct quote on how we are really, really have this deep-seated fear of personal power and light. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously, or maybe it is consciously, give other people permission to do the same. I'm going to repeat that. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. This is my mantra and really my real focus on what motivates me in my mission to be a spiritual teacher. So I invite you, I want you to place your hand on your heart. I want you to put another hand on your belly. It doesn't matter which is which, right or left. Just place a hand on the heart and a hand on the belly. Now, let's ask ourselves this question. And I want you to repeat it out loud. Okay, if you're in a public place and you're feeling like, well, it might be a little weird for me to do that, just say it softly, but I want you to tone it. I want you to hear yourself saying this. What would my life be like if I went full throttle? What would my life be like if I went full throttle? So let's just close our eyes and sit with that question for a moment and feel the answers in our body. What would my life be like if I went full throttle? What does that feel like in your body? Good. Now take a deep breath in and exhale. Now you've imprinted that into your psyche, into your body, into your nervous system. You've created an imprint. Okay. Now, I'm going to shift over to YouTube Live. So those of you on Instagram, if you want to keep going with me on this journey, this little journey that we're going on this Tuesday evening, pop over to YouTube Live, the Kundalini Sanctuary, and join me there. All right? Okay. Satnam. Okay, cool. Now, so we've asked ourselves the question, what would my life be like if I went full throttle? We did the exercise where we had the hand on the heart and the hand on the belly, and we felt it. So for me, where I felt it is I typically feel things in my belly. So I had these little tingly butterflies in my belly, like, oh, it was like that. I've done enough work on myself to where it's not like this paralyzing grip of spasm fear in my stomach anymore. There's just little butterfly remaining twinges that are there. It's still there. I'm still working on it. Maybe it's going to be a lifelong thing until I take my last exhale. I don't know. I'm really hoping to heal that completely so that I'm truly moving in a direction that is clearly quantifying my field for success. But I want to look at trauma. I'd like to look at trauma. Definition of trauma is when something happens to you and you don't have the support, community, resources, capacity to fully process and close this emotional stress loop in that moment. That's a pretty good definition of trauma. I'll repeat it. So it's something that's happening outside of you, but it creates a wound inside of you, all right? Because listen to the definition again. When something happens to you, this is the outside, and you don't have the support, community, resources, capacity to fully process, this is where it's going inside. It's imprinting. It's creating a situation inside of you. And close the emotional stress loop in that moment. So it's still open. It's still raw, maybe super raw in some of us. All right, so we are experiencing trauma right now on the planet, of collective trauma. But let me talk about the 4 types of trauma. So there's big T trauma and there's little t trauma. And just understand that what might be little for you could be really big for another person. So remember the mantra of recognize the other person as you. Recognize the other person as you. Otis, please. So when you really adapt that, recognize the other person as you, you see yourself in everyone, and just never discount that What might be a little, oh, that's no big deal, could be something really big for another person. So be compassionate and recognize everything and view everything through the lens of compassion, or you're going to misunderstand the times. You're going to misunderstand the situation. So big T trauma, little t trauma. That's 1 and 2. Now, there's the collective trauma. When something is happening that we are experiencing indirectly, but our nervous system's registering it as happening to us. Visuals from the news cycle are particularly impactful right now. We are unified as one human body because we have mirror neurons. We're all one collective, one organism within these mirror neurons. If I see someone crying, I'm typically going to cry because I'm creating this mirror neuron response with that person, and I'm a super sensitive person in that way. So the collective trauma that's ongoing right now with the situation that's ongoing with Ukraine and now on the Gaza Strip between the Hamas terrorist situation and the Israeli people and the Palestinian people, it's horrible. It's so horrific. And there are very deliberate forces that are intentionally putting this trauma loop out into the visual airwaves to put it full frontal in your face if you choose to look at it. I'm aware of it. I feel it. It's very stressful for me. It really is. And so I'm acknowledging it with, I do a lot of prayer right now. I'm really trying to just hold myself super bright and steady and pray for miracles, pray for love, pray for healing, pray for peace. And in that capacity, I'm contributing. I'm contributing to making that happen. So there's also the fourth trauma is ancestral trauma. And this is trauma that's literally been passed down through our DNA. And this is a really interesting trauma to experience. So we can talk about that at another time. We can certainly, we have meditations that we can do to heal this ancestral trauma. Otis, if you don't stop, I'm going to make you leave. He's licking his paws because he's picking up on me talking about very intense subjects. He's picking up on my energy. And so he's feeling the anxiety that I'm trying not to convey, but he's picking it up because, you know, the dogs, they're very much little conduits of everything that happens to us. So I am feeling the collective trauma that's unfolding now on our planet for sure. It's literally affecting my sympathetic, nervous, physiological responses and behavior. I'm not sleeping great right now. I'm not. So I'm upping my practice with more breath work. I'm doing some added physical movements. I'm doing a lot of dance breaks to try to move this energy through me and process it. I've also been chanting this this Guru Guru Waheguru mantra, which is really, really beautiful to create a frequency of, it's very, very soothing to me. It's a frequency of love, miracles, and healing. So this version is Sat Kirinkar, and it's quite lovely. If you just have these sound currents that are going on in your environment, it definitely can be very effective to enhance your environment with a higher frequency of support for love, miracles, and great healing. All right, so Guru Guru Wahe Guru Guru Ram Das Guru 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 Wahe Guru Guru Ram Das Guru, Guru Guru Wahe Guru, Guru Ram Das Guru, Guru Guru Wahe Guru, Guru Ram Das Guru, Guru Guru Wahe Guru, Guru Ram Das Guru. So this is on the album Lightness of Beings, and it's the track that's titled Support and Protection. Get it on Spotify. It's really a good one to have. All right. So we can stop this loop. So just then, by me really singing that, I calmed my vagus nerve, I tonified it, I started to signal to my nervous system that I don't have to be in this collective trauma, fight or flight response. I can move now into the parasympathetic nervous system and be very clear. All right? So we can stop this loop using these tools. We can literally confirm to ourselves, this ends with me. I am dreaming, stepping into, co-creating a more beautiful present and future. And that's what these tools offer us, these tools of Kundalini Yoga and meditation. So let me just go a little bit more into how all this, let's just break it down a little bit more. The nervous system is connected to the quantum field. You are literally a force of nature to shift the collective, present and future. So we stop, we signal safety. So that's what that mantra was doing for me. I made a very clear decision. Okay, stop. I'm going into that collective trauma. Because just as I was talking about it, I was starting to get amped up. And Otis, my dog behind me, starts licking his paws, which is his signal to me that I'm feeling anxiety, and this is the way that I cope with it. So I stopped. I signaled safety with the mantra, and now I'm just savoring it. I'm integrating it. I'm absorbing it. Yeah, I'm leveling up. This is how we roll. These are the tools. Once you feel safe, ecstasy is available like that. Bliss as this is what we're wired for. This is really, truly what we are wired for. Okay? This is a true statement. This is truth. This is Satnam. Okay. So resistance shows up as the protection that your nervous system frequency has been wired for as well. And these are old programs that you pick up in your childhood. Your physiology can be shifted with tools that I teach and practice myself. This is the power of positive yogic frequencies. And we'll talk about how all this protection and all this old patterns build the nervous system to have these default systems that we go to, that we created in our childhood through childhood situations. That's another YouTube live and another IG live. And for sure, we're going to get into that. So singing and chanting, in particular chanting these mantras, which are codified sounds, they tone the vagus nerve. And this regulates your nervous system. So we want to be regulated. We want to not be between hyper and hypo. We want to be right smooth in the middle. Every mantra, I skipped. This regulates the nervous system and it signals safety. It signals safety. We shall be known by the company that we keep. That's a great mantra, right? We shall be known by the company we keep. It's time now that we thrive in this great turning. We shall learn to lead in love. It's time now that we thrive in this great turning, and we shall learn to lead in love. Every mantra has its own frequency and healing vibration. Toning the vagus nerve activates the parasympathetic response. To rest, restore, our peripheral vision widens, more cerebral spinal fluid to the brain, we have better creativity, and we have heightened intuition. So our best bet for exiting the trauma loops going on for thousands of years is to be in this whole thought processing and frequency. And for me, Kundalini Yoga is the vehicle for me to get to that place of whole thought processing and frequency, because everything is frequency. So your capacity to stay in expansion and stay regulated, it cultivates abundance. And the most regulated person in the room is the most powerful person in the room. And you know, I don't want to brag on myself, but I hear constantly from people that they notice immediately when I walk into a room. They're always like, well, you're just so calm. Who are you? I'd like to know who you are. You just have an energy about you. Your vibe is really cool. All this sort of thing I hear constantly. It's because I really am conscious of being in that state of presence. And you can do it too. We can do it together. And it's really important that we do it together. I hope you hear me, and I hope you make time for yourself to check out the YouTube channel regularly. But most importantly, I'd love to have you come into the sanctuary. I'm here, I'm teaching classes, I'm available for private sessions. Just give us a call, 702-998-3117, or you can go on the website, the Kundalini Sanctuary, and schedule something. But I'm here. Let's do it. We're here to do this work together. All right. Let's get into our practice today. This is a 10-stroke breath to balance the brain, strengthen the nervous system, and the metabolism, okay? We're going to be stroking the breath in a way that we're making sure that our strokes are not collapsing the nostrils. This is important. We're going to really stay in our body with these strokes and feeling how the strokes are activating certain parts of the body, in particular the thoracic diaphragm, the energy, the muscle that's here, and the navel point. The navel point contains the nerve plexus of your divine will. It's where all the 72,000 channels of these energy streams, that's literally the wiring of your nervous system, and the pranic life force channels, the nadis, they stream and hub at the navel point in the solar plexus. Why do you think we have the umbilical cord? This is where our nerve plexus of the whole body is. It's the main hub. It's the glittering jewel of the chakras, the Manipura chakra, the third chakra, all right? It's your divine will. You're also going to need to pay attention to keep a smooth rhythm. This will balance everything quite nicely, and you're going to upgrade your pranic life force flow into your entire being. And when you do that, you're going to, again, as I mentioned, you're going to strengthen and really empower the flow of pranic life force into all 72,000 channels. Every single one of those are going to be fed this life force, which in turn strengthens the nervous system. You got to have a strong nervous system these days, folks. And your entire cellular structure. The brain loves it. This is truly the gist of what mental health is based on from a yogic perspective. Let's hope that medical science will get to that point too. You're going to have boosted creativity and intuitive insights. These are assured. Okay, so we're going to do this very groovy split mudra. This is the Spock mudra. And we're also going to, disconnect our thumbs. So you see that? We're going to hold this mudra here on either side of the head. So what we're doing by splitting Saturn and the Sun is we're splitting the brain hemispheres, but we're working with that conjoining tissue that binds the left and the right hemispheres together. So we're flushing it with these neuron patterns of positivity. So we're going to stroke the breath in 10 strokes, and then we're going to hold it and mentally vibrate Ad Sach, Jugad Sach, Hebe Sach, Nanekohosi Be Sach, which is the mantra frequency of removing obstacles, removing negativity. It's a Baba Siddhi Chan frequency, and it's one of the jewels that we need to know about. Ad Sach, Jugad Sach, Hebe Sach, Nanekohosi Be Sach. blast like a fire hose. Anything that's an obstacle or negativity out of the way. So we're going to do 10 strokes in through the nose, 10 strokes in through the nose. We're going to look at the tip of the nose. So we're going to lock the optical nerve here, which locks the brain. All right, so we're going to do 10 strokes in. We're going to hold for the mental, ad, such, jugad, such, hebe, such, nanikohosi, be, such. And then we're going to 10 stroke out. And we're going to hold the breath out and repeat with the breath held out. Ad, such, jugad, such, hebe, such, nanikohosi, be, such. Okay, I got a recording for us. So we're going to do this recording. We're going to hear it happening. All right? So you have it. Okay, I'm going to do this with you. We're going to do this for about 3 minutes. This is an 11-minute practice. It's recommended that you build this practice up to 31 minutes. All right? So if you really feel like your brain is all over the place, you're not regulated, do this practice and it will regulate you. You'll be balanced. And added bonus, you boost your metabolism. So you process and assimilate all sorts of things a lot better, a lot more efficiently. All right. Look at the tip of the nose, stretch your spine. Lift your chest, draw your chin in slightly. All right, really lock the eyes at the tip of the nose, please. All right, here we go. 10 strokes in. Hold. Ten strokes out. Hold the breath out. Ten strokes in. Hold. Vibrate the mantra. Ten strokes out. Hold the breath out. Vibrate the mantra. Keep going. Mindful of your rhythm. Mindful of not collapsing the nostrils. Mindful of the navel point. Push the navel out on the inhale. Hold. Now pull the navel in on each pulse of the exhale out. Vibrate the mantra. Push the navel out. Hold. Pull the navel in. Hold. Keep going. Now take a smooth breath in. Hold. Consolidate the energy in the spine. Squeeze it. Keep your mudra intact. Eyes to the tip of the nose. Breathe all the breath out. Hold the breath out and consolidate and integrate. Nice. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Turn left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Stretch up, stretch, stretch. And exhale, float the arms down. Spread your light all over the planet. Put your hands in your lap. Right on top of the left. Just sit quietly. Breathe, integrate. Savor. And just be in this beautiful space that you've created for yourself with this 10-stroke breath. Good, and Satnam. So remember, whenever you're doing these practices, we want to tune in. I tuned in before we started. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. And you can just, Om Namo Gurudev Namo, Om Namo Gurudev Namo, Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Good. That's the stop signal. Okay, now's the time to practice yoga. Put you in the present moment, and you're ready to rock and roll. Okay, and then when you finish, Satnam. I mean, there's, it's a formula, so let's stick with the formula. Yeah. Okay, that ends our time tonight. Thank you so much for your time. Your time is so precious to me, and I'm really grateful for your attention and your energy, and basically, your time is super gift. It's a big gift, and I'm very grateful for it. And anything that I put gratitude towards, it just expands and grows. So I hope to see you in class. I do have class this Thursday here at the sanctuary, 6 to 7:30 p.m. We're going to keep going with this whole process of how to relieve and work with the trauma forces of the collective trauma that's happening right now on the planet. I'm going to continue to give you tools that you can integrate and navigate and stay regulated through this whole very, very intense time that's ongoing on the planet. And we are in this eclipse season right now. We just had an incredible solar eclipse on Saturday. We all got in the pool. There were 10 of us. We all got in the pool and did this astonishing meditation of the Waheguru, looking at the tip of the nose. It was just, oh my gosh, it was otherworldly. And yeah, it was really, really a lot of fun and very, very powerful. And yeah, so we're going to have class, so that was the solar eclipse. And then the lunar eclipse is going to be happening on the 28th of October, which falls during my retreat in Zion. And I do still have a couple of cabins available. Oh my gosh, I would just love it if you decided to come and join us. It would be great. Even if I've never met you and you're feeling really called to this, now with me just speaking to you about it, we're going to really dive into some very deep processing work up there in Zion, Utah, at this incredible property called the Namaste Retreat Village. We have an amazing chef Shelley, who's going to be cooking dinner and meals for us. So we'll be really nourished and revitalized. We're going to spend a lot of time in nature, and we're going to do a fucking buttload of Kundalini yoga and meditation, because man, do we need it. And I'm looking forward to experiencing that with each and every one of you. I'm bringing gongs with me. I'm bringing some other sound healing instruments with me. So yeah, it's based on utilizing the frequencies of sound, which is what we're comprised of. Okay. Go in beauty. Peace be with you. Until we meet again in the light of our hearts, and may peace prevail on earth. Satnam.